Hi guys, so today we're discussing fundamentals, and I'm not sure why, but there seems to be an obsession with fundamentals for some odd reason. Um, at the retail level, everyone's obsessed with fundamentals, and it's like the most common question I get asked, which is how do I apply fundamentals? How do I learn fundamentals? Even though people like Trevor Neal have done videos saying that fundamentals are practically pointless to people in the retail level. I've done a video of Trevor Neal's interviews. He's taught institutional traders. He's traded at institutional level at banks. And he says, stay away from fundamentals. You don't have an advantage as a retail trader. And by the time you receive the news, it's already dead and useless to you. So I've always wondered why retailers use fundamentals when it's clear that it no longer applies. By the time it comes to us, it's already useless. Institutions have already made their money and gotten out. You can go watch my interview about how the banks trade. It's based on Trevor Neal's interviews. And also Simon Kidd, he also talked about fundamentals. And most people who have years of experience usually say they don't look at fundamentals. In some cases, they avoid fundamentals. Like sometimes they'll avoid an NFP, they'll avoid a fundamental, or they'll just know the basics of it and what to expect, not to go deep into it because it doesn't apply. But just knowing the basics of certain events will be helpful for you. I've always said that, like, listen, if you don't have a PhD in economics, you shouldn't be touching fundamentals, simply because it's very economics and mathematical based. I would say stay away from it. That's just my point. Um, it's difficult to learn. Most people tell you I understand fundamentals even without an economics background. I won't argue. If that's what you believe, it's fine. Fundamentals also, there's a lot of manipulation during fundamental times, which is why, like, for example, I've been researching about FTMO, the funding the prop trading funding company, and they don't allow you to trade on event days, fundamental periods, and there's a reason for it, because there's a lot of manipulation during that time. A lot of people lose a lot of money. You just want to stay away from things like that. If you're someone who understands that, that's fine. We're going to get into what you should do if you do want to learn fundamentals. So there are some books on fundamentals that you can read, but you want to avoid the big names. So if you're going to read on books on fundamentals, you want to avoid um, big names like George Soros, Warren Buffett. I've read a lot of their books, and to be honest, they teach you nothing about fundamentals. All the big names who do use fundamentals, they don't actually sell you the fundamental strategy or the things they use, which is why you should avoid them, the big names. I would read Nicholas Taleb's Inserto series. That one's really, really good. The entire series, but start off with Fooled by Randomness. I think it's really, really important. That's the first book I would recommend from the Inserto series. So Nicholas Taleb's Fooled by Randomness, and then the whole Inserto series. Um, and then you want to avoid the broker's fundamentals, because brokers usually tell you about fundamentals and what to expect during the fundamentals. You might as well avoid them because there's a conflict of interest. Why would they want you to win and tell you about fundamentals if essentially they're going to earn from your losses? You want to avoid the news and the media. A lot of the times, the media and the news is bought out. They're paid to say things on fundamental events. I remember first year when I'd watch news in the morning before I did anything else, because I thought that that was the best way to hear fundamental news. And they were like, bank stocks are going up, bank stocks are gonna go through the roof. And I got crushed that day. Like, that was probably my worst day ever. I got crushed because I had listened to CNBC say, like, these are the stocks to watch. This is what you should do. They get paid. I didn't know that they get paid. And I noticed this when a specific YouTube channel, it's really big, it does educational stuff. I went to their website and I looked at their sponsors, and I realized that a lot of the stuff they were advocating was in line with what the sponsors was paying them. So it's no difference with the media. The media gets paid. They get paid to spread news. They get paid to it's called pumping stocks and IPOs. Now they even do it with celebrities. So you'll find celebrities like T.I., Kevin Hart, being paid to pump up IPOs of cryptocurrencies. And then once it does well, they dump out and they get out, which is something similar to what Jordan Belfort used to do with The Wolf of Wall Street, where they pump up stuff, the media, celebrities, they pump up stuff and then they dump as soon as things go good. Um, Go to fxstreet.com, investing.com, Forex Factory. Those three are the best places to get fundamentals because you want raw news. You just want data. You don't want people's opinions. You just want the raw news and data. Now, FX Street and investing.com does have some articles and analysis, which is fine, but Factory is simply pure fundamentals and data, which is good. Read fundamental reports every morning. I think that's the best way to improve. If you read more and more fundamental news every morning and reports every day, you'll improve on those two websites I've talked about. But also be aware of fake accounts. I've noticed that there are a lot of fake accounts. You can just see by the profile pictures and their story. A lot of the times their bios don't make sense, but there are a lot of fake accounts. Um, yeah, like I said, you want raw data. So, like, FX Factory is a good one. You don't want someone's opinion. And then, lastly, the most important point is that there's some phone apps which are really, really good. I used to use one. It was called Daily something. If it had something to do with daily something, and it was really, really good. It would just give you the raw data. It would explain to you what the news event was about. It would tell you what happened in the past few years and what they're predicting. Now, the predictions weren't always accurate, but the point was that you're supposed to know which events are coming up, so that you know what to stay away from, what that event is about, what happened in the past, which a lot of the times is likely to happen again, what they're predicting and why they're predicting that. It's a great app. If I find the name, I'll give it to you.